Good morning. Today I am going to talk about history and background, and also the British Indian is considered to be well integrated. Why is that? The long relationship between the British and the Indian population led to an increased understanding of each other's culture and religion. It is important to understand that the multi-religious society that India had always been, with respect and tolerance for the different religious groups, have made the integration easier. The British imperialism was a large factor in why the Indian have immigrated to England. The Indian people was an important source of labor to both the British Army and to the East India Company. In the Army, they had large Indian regimes, and in the East Indian Company, Indian workers were recruited as crooks and sailors. Many of these Indian workers and sailors stayed in the UK after the active duty ended. There were large numbers of Indian immigrants who moved to different British colonies, such as Uganda and Kenya. These Indians were used by the British government to run trades or security. As a result of the colonization, many Indians could move freely to the UK. The Indian population in Britain grew after the Second World War. There was large need of labor, and many Indians migrated to the UK to find work. In the period 1970 to 1999, a very large group of immigrants came from former British colonies, such as Uganda and especially India. Almost 600,000 Indian settlers arrived to the UK in this period. The British Indians had nowhere else to move. They were expelled from their adopted homelands and could not move back to India, therefore UK was their only option. The British Indian society is considered to be well integrated in Britain. Why is that? British Indians can be compared to the ethnic Britons. We can start by comparing the unemployment rate. 4% ethnic whites and 8% Indian is a good indicator that there is limited distraction in the labor market. In general, the unemployment rate for non-white is well above 10%. Also, in terms of education, the British Indians is doing well. Their grade average is again equal or slightly better than the Britons. The big question is therefore, why has this group integrated so well into the British society? We think that the long history with a significant British influence has a large part of the answer. Education in India follows of many the standard outlines by the British in their colony days. Higher British education. Trade is also a good reason for why the Indians are integrated so well. Indians run a significant part of the small businesses in Britain. Running a local shop or a small business forces you naturally to adapt and to treat your customers well. It is difficult to find an example. The third reason is culture. British Indians have a high profile and are considered British. We have well-known names as Freddie Mercury, one of the singers from Queens, the author Salman Rushdie, or film. This is why we think the British Indians have integrated so well into the British society, and why the Britons have accepted the Indian.